Alibaba is finally ready for a new swing trade. Today we analyze Alibaba, but we actually take a look here at a higher time frame. This allows us to perfectly determine where Alibaba will head next in the near future. In order to do this, we actually have to take a look here at the monthly chart of Alibaba. And as always, before we start with our simple yet extremely precise technical analysis, it's very important that we first of all determine the trend of Alibaba. Here you can see that approximately a decade ago, in the end of 2015, going into 2016, exactly at this psychological $60 level, Alibaba actually created a quite strong bottom. I mean, from here, you can see Alibaba established a significant rally of approximately 450%. And during this entire move towards the upside, Alibaba has perfectly been respecting this lower green support trend line. After this parabolic rally, you can see that in mid of 2021, Alibaba once again came back to retest this support trend line, but this time actually was not able to create another rejection higher, broke below this support trend line and literally created this. I would even consider this a crackdown, because you can see that after it broke the support trend line, we had an immediate drop of approximately minus 75%. This drop, however, surprise, surprise, ended with a retest of the major previous horizontal support, which obviously, since Alibaba was approaching it towards the upside, was still acting as support. And you can see that just in the end of 2022, Alibaba came back to retest this $60 level. We actually witnessed a quite expected bullish rejection way towards the upside. And over the course of the past 3.5 years, you can see that Alibaba has been establishing another healthy uptrend. This brings us to step number 2. It's now time for us to actually take a look here at support and resistance. And this is where things get now extremely interesting on Alibaba. First of all, we have to start with a significant second trend line breakout. You can see that starting all the way back in 2021, Alibaba has continuously been rejecting this bearish resistance trend line. In fact, you can see that always when Alibaba retested this resistance trend line, we actually saw a quite aggressive push lower. However, it was really just a matter of time until in the end of 2024, Alibaba once again retested the resistance trend line, but this time, instead of actually seeing a rejection lower, we witnessed a quite expected breakout. This was also the reason for why already back in mid-2024, I published a bunch of analysis of Alibaba here on TradingView, explaining all the reasons why after this successful trendline breakout, I simply do expect a lot more continuation towards the upside. Obviously, I will go ahead and link all of my previous analysis of Alibaba below this breakdown, so you can go ahead and verify everything for yourself. This is where Alibaba then started printing a lot of money. You can see that after this nice breakout, we actually saw a beautiful break and retest of the previous resistance trend line, which after the break towards the upside was turned support. Alibaba, after the successful retest, created a continuation rally of 75%. Then you can see that Alibaba perfectly broke above a major horizontal structure at this psychological $110 level already. All the way back in mid-2023, Alibaba rejected this level towards the downside. We had a second retest in the end of 2024, and then Alibaba simply created a very decent bullish break and retest, which once again was followed by a significant continuation rally of 75%. This continuation rally perfectly hit the previous structure of 2018. There you can see that Alibaba already back in 2018 until 2020 created a very decent bullish break and retest, clearly identifying this major structure. And this was once again the reason for why just a couple of months ago in mid-2025, I published a bunch of analysis here on TradingView explaining all the reasons why I do expect a top and a rejection lower. Now, as we're speaking, you can see that Alibaba is actually creating the third bullish break and retest in a row. The first one happened with the resistance trend line. The second one with the horizontal level at $110. And now you can see that Alibaba is once again retesting major resistance, which obviously after the break towards the upside is turned support roughly at this $130 level. Yes, Don't get me wrong here. You can see that over the course of the past couple of months, Alibaba is down quite substantially, and a drop of minus 30% within a couple of weeks does not vanish overnight. But there is a very high chance that we see another expected break and retest if and only if Alibaba actually slows down at the support, starts to create bullish confirmation on the smaller time frame, and we see bulls stepping back in and pushing price higher. If you enjoyed today's breakdown of Alibaba and you found it helpful, I really much appreciate if you smash the thumbs up below this breakdown. Obviously, I will totally keep you updated regarding maybe the next massive swing trade here on Alibaba. Therefore, make sure you check back every once in a while. I will see you tomorrow with a fresh breakdown. Don't get caught up in all of the short-term volatility. Keep your long-term vision.